Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, your number one source for income-oriented investing. I'm finally back in Panama, just landed yesterday. So this is the very first video that I'm doing coming back, and I figure we have a lot to catch up on because there's a lot of stuff that was announced, but I think we'll focus on what I feel is the most important change. HYLD HDIV version 3.0 just came out there. They've announced some changes in the underlying ETFs. We'll take a look at it in a second. But before we do that, if you're curious about seeing all the pictures from the events, we opened the stock market with Harvest ETFs. I took some family pictures, all kinds of pictures from the events and dinners and whatever with fund managers, etc. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, passive_income_investing. Make sure it's the legitimate account because there's fakers out there. We have 10.9K followers right now, and you'll be able to scroll and see all the pictures, including my grandparents who are so cute, and we'll be unveiling their portfolios very soon, of course, for members only. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, guys, and check out all the pictures from the fund manager and the events, etc., etc., etc. So a lot of ground to cover, but I figure in this video we'll be specific with the Hamilton ETFs, HYLD and HDIV, because I feel it's very, very important. There's other things that happen as well. You have some Quadravest split funds that are giving out basically bonus shares. You have Purpose that's filing to put 33% leverage on their Bitcoin and Ethereum covered call ETFs. A bunch of other things. There's some new IBIT covered call ETFs, including a 0DTE one. So there's all in the US. This is in the US. So there's all kinds of stuff. Remember, guys, this is your number one source. You'll always be updated. So let's focus on HYLD first. So I was super happy, super excited to see that they added S Day and Q Day in HYLD. So S Day is US dividend stocks with a 0DTE strategy on the S&P 500. We know that Q-Day is XLK ETF, right, which is a technology indexed style ETF with a 0DT strategy on the NASDAQ. So I thought it made complete sense. It's very, very fitting that they add this to HYLD, which is kind of like the all-in-one US covered call. Another thing is that HYLD passed $1 billion in AUM. So congratulations to Hamilton ETFs, who we've had dinner with. We took a tour of their old office. It's a shame because they're actually moving into this really beautiful new office. They're probably doing it last week or this week. So we took a tour of the new office as well, which was empty because they're expanding. So it's very, very exciting. So I'm very excited for HYLD 3.0 now, right? We had HYLD 2.0 near the beginning of February of 2024. And now a couple of weeks ago, we have HYLD 3.0, which I think is much, much better in my opinion, because number one, they added S-Day, so it's a 7.5% position, a little bit of Q-Day as well, 3.4. So that's good. I mean, I really like that. Another thing I noticed, which I was really surprised and super happy, they removed the bond exposure, right? You notice now there's no more bonds, US bonds. So I absolutely love that for me, especially because now HYLD is going to be a little bit more tax efficient in my non-registered account, but that's just for me. But even for you, for everyone, I think if you have it in a non-reg, by removing those bonds and putting more the equities, I think you have a little bit more tax efficiency. Either way, the bonds didn't, they were like 1% or 3%. But either way, I personally don't like bonds. I'm so happy now. This is pretty much 100 full stocks, 100 full equity with S-Day and Q-Day are now inside as well. So removing of the bonds, adding a very high yield S-Day and Q-Day, will they increase their distribution? I don't know, guys, but I'm pretty sure that they will. I mean, I'm just guessing here, but of course the yield will go up with the changes they've made. So maybe they'll increase it a little bit. To how much, I don't know, maybe 14.8 or 14.9. We'll have to see what happens. HYLD is like around the 12% yield mark. So I think they'll be able to increase the yield. So super amazing news on HYLD. If you're asking me, well, Adrian, I have S-Day. Should I swap S-Day into HYLD? Only you could make that decision. S-Day, I feel, is actually quite boring. It's actually dividend stocks. It's like dividend stocks meets covered calls, if you will. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about maybe swapping my SD into HYLD now, just because I have a very small position in SD, 4%. Might as well swap it in here. I'm thinking about it. You'll see in the next portfolio unveil, guys. As usual, I'll unveil everything to you right away. If you're a member, make sure to hit that little join button. They also have a really cool article called Daymax Unlocking Overnight Returns for Covered Call ETFs. So read it if you're interested in that. It shows some really cool proof that things happen after market hours, and because on C day, S day, and Q day, right? These are daily covered calls. The call expires at the end of every day. You're capturing full upside of the market outside or after market hours. So it's very, very interesting article. Hamilton always has really good articles, so I highly recommend you check it out and you read it. HDIV as well. So HDIV as well, they added, of course, which is more fitting because it's more Canadian, C day, right? C day did not get added to HYLD, which makes sense because it's Canadian, and you know the name of HYLD is the US covered call ETF, and HDIV they also renamed it to Canadian covered call ETF. Don't forget that there is some US exposure in HDIV as well, right? With QMAX, and there's some in EMAX, some in RMAX as well. So they added a tiny, tiny portion in QDay, which is a nice complement to QMAX, I would say. And they added CDay. That's the bigger position in terms of Daymax that they added. And they also removed the bonds. There's no more bonds in here as well. So I really, really like these changes here. Obviously, this is going to increase the yield of HDIV as well, right? Because C-Day, Q-Day, they have very high yields of 18-20% approximately. So I'm assuming eventually, maybe even they didn't do it with the September announcement. Maybe in October announcement, they'll increase the distributions for HYLD and HDIV. I would not be surprised. So there you have it. I think this is very important and good news if you're an HDIV or HYLD holder, which are, you know, community favorites, of course, the all-in-ones here. HDIV makes a really good complement to HYLD if you want Canada and US. They've been, ever since HYLD 2.0, near the beginning of 2024, it's been destroying, well, not destroying, but it's been outperforming VSP, which is amazing. It's beating the S&P 500. Of course, that leverage really helps, and the Genius strategy helps. And, you know, I met Nick Picard. I had some time to spend with him. Sorry, I'm with my words. I'm a bit still jet lagged and stuff, but very, very smart guy, very energetic, very excited, very dedicated to, you know, making the best total returns he can every single day. I mean, what a phenomenal team there at Hamilton ETFs. I really like all of them, and they're expanding. It's an exciting time there. They just passed, I believe, 10 billion AUM altogether. HYLD, $1 billion. So they're doing, obviously, the numbers speak for themselves. You see HYLD, since HYLD 2.0, near the beginning of 2024, is outperforming VSP, the S&P 500, with dividends reinvested and dividends not reinvested, which is very, very impressive, if you ask me. Not surprising, though. And even HDIV is amazing as well. I think it's just beating VFV by itself, the S&P 500. It is. HDIV is really, and with dividends without, unbelievable. It's even outperforming HYLD. So I attribute a strong performance of HDIV because it's very heavy on the Canadian banks, which have kicked ass lately, right? You have the covered call one and the non-covered call one, which is a great, but HFIN is also leveraged. So this is a great way to balance out and get a lot of total return. I love the fact that it has kind of the best stocks in the US, which are always the technology stocks. You got a lot of gold in here. Gold has been doing really well as well. And I think HDIV and HYLD 3.0 are actually going to be much better. I think the gap over time is gonna, this is just my opinion, is going to expand over just holding the S&P 500. Another piece of good news, guys, don't forget, leverage costs have gone down, right? The US and Canada have cut the rate, which means the borrowing costs for all these leverage funds has gone down. It helps. And every time, you know, leverage is cheap now. So leverage is going to be really a good way to get maximum total returns, in my opinion. I think that's really the genius behind the strategy, that little bit of leverage. So much so that, you know, Evolve has 33% on their Biggie and Canny, and you see a purpose. They they chose to go 33% leverage on their Bitcoin instead of 25. So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, maybe Hamilton will decide to increase the leverage on these. I'm not sure. Leverage is so cheap now. I would definitely be into 33% leverage. I think 33 is kind of like my limit personally. But 25, 33, really good stuff. Leverage is your friend long term. Don't forget, Rob Wessel told me, who I've met. I have a nice picture with him and Erica. You could see that in Instagram. I'll never forget what Rob Wessel said, which are wise words. Leverage is your friend long term, right? Short term, it could be a disaster, but long term, it's going to be your friend on good quality assets, which these are. So just wanted to make sure you're aware of these changes. Very good changes. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What is your plan if you have SDA or CD or QD? Are you going to swap them into the all-in-ones? You're going to keep them? You're going to do half-half? Remember, there's no right or wrong when it comes to investing. I'll show you what I'm going to be doing in about a week from now when all the dividends come in near October 10th. I'll make a video really quickly, or let you guys know, let the members know, and the portfolio unveil will be near the end of the month, of course, for everyone else. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. It's good to be back. Stay tuned for more videos in rapid succession. We got a lot to catch up on, and stay safe, everyone. Stay passive, stay honorable. See you next time.